Hey everybody, welcome. This is Mike Sandoval. We are back for the MUSE TV watch party and after show for Miss Marvel. It is the season finale. It is 6 episodes over.
Yes, episode 6.
Yeah, it went by fast.
We're here at the end. Well, we
Exactly.
did pick up halfway. We did pick up midway through because we were on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That is true. That is very true. Let me introduce the guy to my left over here. You're right.
Yes. I'm back on stream tonight. Hey everyone. Sorry I've been off stream for a while.
Mhm.
I had a messy couple weeks because of COVID, self-isolation, medicating, then getting still having those lingering kind of side effects, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. Not symptomatic right now. Oops, sorry. So yeah, hopefully I'm free and clear of COVID because we've got Comic-Con next week, and it would really suck if I suddenly got COVID again right before Comic-Con when I'm supposed to be going, and that would really be bad.
Yeah.
But welcome back to the MUSE TV watch party for Miss Marvel. It is finale night, episode 6. We are in the season finale, series finale of Miss Marvel. Marvel's Miss Marvel. And
Yes.
we are down to the end.
Yeah. Episode 6, episode 5, as we talked about last week, was kind of.
It was off.
I don't know what this episode is going to be like. Let's put it that way.
You
After
see,
episode 5.
just to get into it a little bit, like they had been building up the clandestine and Najma as the main villains for the show, and then they kind of got rid of all of them other than Cameron in the last episode. And then so we're left with kind of like damage control is going after Cameron, Bruno, and maybe Kamala. And then like Cameron seems to have gotten some clandestine powers from his mother and is still hoping to reunite with his mother, even though she abandoned him in prison. And then have we seen the last of Najma? Do you think she's gone for good, or is she going to come back somehow?
Well, I brought that up last week, and you said she was dead.
Well, all right. I have had time to think about it, and a lot's been going. I've been dealing with jury duty. Like I'm on jury duty call. Like I haven't been called in yet for jury duty, but I have to be on call all week. So it's like everything's messing with my head.
Yeah, I get it.
So I feel like I mean, we saw her skeleton. So we saw her like turn to dust and skeletonize. So I feel like having her come back after that would be kind of like a cop out. But is her like consciousness taking over Cameron or something? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But what do you think? Is she dead?
I think she is, but that's just me. D. Jones saying the following is a MUSE TV special.
Thank you.
That just brought me an idea. I kind of want to bring back that old '80s CBS thing when they had a special and they swirled around in circles. Dun, 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 and it says CBS special.
One of those special reports. What was what my parents used to watch all the time? The McLaughlin Group.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
Like it was always like the political debates on the. And what channel? What channel was the McLaughlin Group on?
That was Channel 4. Don't remember.
So was that public? So that was public TV, but like they could not. They could not get enough of McLaughlin Group. But what I liked was when Dana Carvey would do John McLaughlin on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
it was the best.
Yep.
But yeah, special news report.
Yeah, I wish we could show it.
MUSE TV special.
Exactly. We can't show it, but this is what it kind of looked like back in the day when I was a kid. How CBS specials used to be like, or whenever they had a special
report.
No, it wasn't even a special report. It was a special presentation. They used to have that spin special with different colors.
Yeah, they had all those fun logos and stuff.
think I want to bring that
Nostalgic.
back. What
I'm
the hell?
feeling nostalgic. Yeah, do it with the MUSE
CBS
TV.
special presentation. We'll do that
Um,
for Halloween, possibly.
let's see. Oh, Iman Vellani, Kamala Khan, she put up a really nice video on the Miss Marvel Instagram.
Mhm.
And I think she's really, she's the best part of this show, I think. I
Mhm.
think she's the real breakout star,
Yep.
and I hope good things will happen to her, and I hope she's like I hope she's separated from like trolls and just like angry fan comments online, because she just seems like such a nice, warm, and nice person. I don't want her to get exposed to that. And I want her to enjoy the work she's doing. And I hope she can just focus on that and not like on angry fan comments or rude fans on or complaining about whatever with this show.
I agree. I mean, that's to me, she's been the brightest spot of the show. The family story has been a bright
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Everything else has been kind of up and down, but
But like
that.
that's like not me hating the actors
Mhm.
or Imam Vellani or the character. It's just I think there needed to just be a better overall story structure here, some stronger villains, and I think a little less padding to really just round things out.
Yeah,
And I would have put in some like mid-tier Marvel villains to
mhm.
have Kamala fight like midway in.
Yeah,
Like maybe the villains kind of not just wreck the wedding, but part of her neighborhood, and
mhm.
Kamala's just feeling really down,
Yeah,
and sad, sorry for herself, and she has to get out of that. Something like that.
yeah.
Not I think that could have just livened things up a little bit. Kind
Mhm.
of like, look, in Kenobi, which I think we both agree we really enjoyed Kenobi for the most
Yeah,
part, right?
yeah.
Despite its flaws.
Mhm.
Like in Kenobi, like midway in, you had Obi-Wan and Vader fight, and Vader basically cleaned his clock, and he just barely got out of it alive, and it was just a big low point
Mhm.
for
I agree.
Obi-Wan. He had to kind of build himself back up. I think, is it a bit cliche? Yes, but it just sort of, you need to see the hero kind of just go through trials and tribulations and go through hardship and kind of overcome that hardship to really kind of like be inspired
Yeah,
by them. Now, going back to Kenobi, I'm feeling like overall Kenobi was like an 8 out of 10 for me.
yeah.
Now that I've had time to think about Kenobi a little bit, digest it, overall I give the series an 8 out of 10. Were there flaws? Yes. Were there missteps? Yes.
Mhm.
But I think by the end they found a good sort of groove with the show. The Vader Obi-Wan conflict was there. Vader was there. I think, yes, I think Reva could have been written better.
Mhm.
I don't think it was like the actress's fault. I just think they made
Mhm.
I think they were kind of just a bit, they didn't really find the right story for Reva, and really the way her loyalties kept switching, and like, oh, she's hunting Vader, like that was like not well developed, and the payoff to that was just kind of not very dramatic kind of thing,
Mhm.
and it was a little predictable. But
Yeah,
rest of the show, but that's why I give the show an 8 out of 10, you know?
exactly. And that's where I liked that show better than what we've seen with Miss Marvel. Marvin is back this week. Hello,
Welcome
sorry I
back,
missed that
Marvin. We're
last
happy to
week.
have you.
Everybody's too busy. No problem. We've all been really busy, especially with Comic Con coming next week, starting next Wednesday,
Dealing with
July 20th.
COVID, jury duty,
Yeah, bunch of things to
trying to get
cover.
jury
Trying
duty,
to do
other
these,
things. Yeah.
yeah, trying to do these watch parties. Yep.
Adulting,
But
insurance bills.
yep, but Comic Con next week. Anybody in the comments, let us know. Are you going to be at Comic Con next week? Because if
Mhm.
so, let us know. We will do. If you're going to be in town, we'll try and figure out a spot to do get together and see what we could do.
I was at Money in the Bank a couple weeks ago. I was in
Yeah.
I suddenly found myself in Las Vegas at the last minute.
Yeah.
What are we expecting from Marvel for Comic-Con? Oh, well, we do know some. So we know on the animated side we'll be getting X-Men 97, Marvel Zombies, and What If Season 2 for the Marvel animated panel.
Yeah.
I think we can safely assume for Marvel live action we'll be getting the remaining films of Phase 4, Quantumania, maybe a little bit of what else is coming up besides Quantumania? Wakanda
Guardians
Forever,
of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I bet Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So we'll probably get, the announcements on who for Wakanda Forever, the character we're all expecting, and the actor you were talking about last week. So I think that's what we can expect from Marvel from Comic-Con.
Now, here's my thing, and this is just something I'm gonna throw out there. Since they're gonna do a presentation at Comic-Con and they're gonna do a presentation at D23, do you think they're gonna use Comic-Con as their television series announcements, or will they and then do the movie announcements at D23, or do half TV, half movie, then the D23 announcements be half TV, half movie?
That's a good point. I think we'll see the TV stuff at D23 because, as I recall, now granted this was 3 years ago, so I'm trying to play it back in my head. D23 2019, we had the live action film side, and then we had the D23 streaming TV side as different kind of panels. So I think that is where we'll get like the live Marvel TV and maybe a bit more of Marvel animation TV streaming, because I think What If, Marvel Zombies, X-Men 97 are all going to be Disney Plus exclusives, and then there's also the other animated show they're doing, the I Am Groot, which is those CG shorts, and then Spider-Man Freshman Year.
Yeah.
So I think that so we're not going to see I don't think we're going to see I Am Groot in Spider-Man Freshman Year unless they have some surprises at Comic-Con. And then I think the new live TV stuff we'll see at D23.
Yeah.
But we really don't know for sure other than what they've announced. And we know all I know for sure is the animated panel will have X-Men 97, Marvel Zombies, What If Season 2. Those are confirmed.
Yeah. Slater the Spider, hoping for anything with Kang in it.
Well, he's supposed to be in Quantumania, so hopefully we'll get hopefully it is Kang, like it's Kang, and we'll get to see some footage.
Gonna be Kang.
Hey, Slater.
Yeah, Marvin told me to hop on. Well,
Slater.
Forgot you guys were doing Miss Marvel. I forgot you guys are doing Miss Marvel. So did we. So there we go.
I remembered. I didn't forget.
Oh yeah, I remember too. But yeah, Marvin, I really want something about the Fantastic Four. I think there will be, but something tells me that Fantastic Four is going to be at D23.
I think the issue with Fantastic Four, they just lost their director in John Watts, so they haven't even started filming yet.
Yeah.
Now they could be in early stages of casting, development, and what have you, but they don't even have a director unless they do, and they just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
So we know. Last we heard though, it was that John Watts left the project, right?
Yeah.
So, and we don't really know how far along he was. So they probably haven't even started filming Fantastic Four. So that could still be a ways away. So
exactly.
I'm hoping we'll get announcements on Fantastic Four, X-Men, what have you at D23, if not at Comic-Con.
Exactly. D. Jones, A Bad Batch Season 2 coming to Disney Plus. Yep, that is coming sometime probably. I think, what did they say, next year? What's what they said?
For what?
Bad Batch Season 2?
Oh, yeah. When is Bad Batch?
Or they did not say it yet. I forgot.
We know Mandalorian is February, right?
Yeah, February.
Okay, so Bad Batch. I forget. So we got a season. Okay, I have the season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did they give us a date? Season 2 is 16. Bad Batch season 2 is this fall. There you go.
Yeah,
16 episodes.
there you go, Marvin. Did they cast? I hope the guy from you
What is
is
that?
playing Mr. Fantastic.
You know what he's talking about?
Uh,
YOU? Is that an acronym? What is he?
I think it's
I don't understand.
I don't know. I'm lost on that.
Context is lost on me here, Marvin. If you can
Marvin,
explain.
please, can you explain really quick?
Does anyone know if Ultron knows there is a watch party too? I do not know Slater. I am not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not following Ultron.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming in tonight.
And we're trying our best to follow everybody we possibly can. It's just a lot.
And I've been up since like 5 a.m. So give me a break here.
Yeah.
Not everything's running on full
Jeffrey steam.
Yeah. I'm running on fumes right now. I can't even form coherent sentences. I'm sorry.
But I do know with DC what they're presenting. They are going to, I mean, The Rock last week said that he was going to be there.
Okay. Well, Black Adam. So Black Adam, and then
League of Super Pets.
Well, that's coming out the 29th. So
yeah, and they're gonna do something at Comic-Con.
And then Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's December.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw footage of that. They might just show the sizzle reels that they showed at CinemaCon at Comic-Con.
They may.
Because those aren't real. I mean, those are only a couple months old, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. And
YOU, is there a show on Netflix called YOU?
It's possible.
I'm okay. I have not watched this show.
Mm-hmm.
Did Netflix produce this show or?
Penn Badgley for head.
Or is it internet? Greg Berlanti. Oh, so Greg Berlanti created this.
Mm-hmm.
I totally missed this show. So Penn Badgley, is that who people think is?
Yeah.
Is that who people think is Mr. Fantastic? I haven't heard any rumors about that, Marvin Zeke.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Truthfully, Mike, I don't really like following the rumor mill too much, just because it's like I don't know what to believe or trust, and it constantly seems. I just want to watch the films, you know. I don't want to.
And that's the thing, like the cast. I'm pretty sure they may be cast already.
That's possible.
Close to being fully cast, but
and they're keeping it quiet.
Exactly, because you never know due to shoot schedules and everything if they're going to be able to fully commit to that.
One would assume Fantastic Four is further along than say anything they're doing with X-Men or what have you.
Exactly. Marvin, also, what are you looking forward to the most from Comic-Con?
AEW? I mean, if I get to go to the AEW press room and I get to talk and interview CM Punk and those guys, that's kind of going to be the highlight. The fandom party.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I actually got in for that.
The fandom party. So, I mean, the thing is, the actual Comic-Con event can be so it can be so high stress, and I'm worried if they overextended this year and we're all going to be masked up, and I'm worried about COVID. I'm worried about monkeypox. I'm worried about the world in general.
You're worried about the regular stuff you would normally get at Comic-Con?
Yes, and all that. And then so sometimes the outside events that are kind of scheduled around Comic-Con are the most fun things to do.
Yeah.
So
just like this one. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, okay.
But Dungeons and Dragons coming.
Oh yeah, I got my slot for the tavern.
Yeah, same here. I got mine as well. We'll be
So
seeing it on Thursday.
yeah, sometimes the kind of the
Thursday.
atmosphere, the satellite stuff can be more fun than the actual Comic-Con, you know?
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Now,
gonna be fun.
as a big toy figure collector, I'm looking forward to WWE Mattel panel, Marvel Legends, GI Joe Classified,
Mhm.
Funko's gonna have a panel, so things like that. Anything collectible related.
Yeah.
Because chances are I'm not gonna get into like Marvel Studios live
No,
action. Because I think they're gonna have like a wristband system in place for Hall H.
exactly, and let's be honest, the only press that are gonna get in there is gonna be very few.
Wow.
Uh, it's just the way it is. I'm hoping I could get one for I have more faith that I could get into WB than Marvel.
Would love to see Black Panther or X-Men 97. Well, I do want to do the Marvel animation panel
Mhm.
and see because they're supposed to show something with X-Men 97. So hopefully it'll look good and it'll look promising and we'll get some good footage at least.
Yeah, but with Marvin, I think we will see something with Black Panther. It'll be a teaser because if you look at the
Yeah.
timeline of things, Black Panther teaser will be at Comic Con. Black Panther trailer, first trailer, will be at D23.
And and I think they'll probably have some extra things at D23, maybe a little extra,
Yeah,
like I don't know, sizzle reels or a scene or something to
Mhm.
kind of just sweeten the pot, so
Yeah,
to speak.
exactly.
Just because D23, I mean, the good thing is D23 is not right around Comic-Con. Do you
Mhm.
remember when they would have it like right before or right after Comic-Con and it's just so exhausting?
Yep.
This year we're gonna have like that 2-month cushion at least.
Yeah,
If we get if I even get into
and
D23.
then
Ha
it's
ha ha.
same here. I put in for it, but I don't know if I'm going to get in.
Right.
And two, it's D23 and Halloween. All the theme park Halloween events happen at the same weekend.
Uh have you ever done E3 out here in LA, Mike?
Yes, I've done
So
it like
did you hear the news about E3?
yes.
That one development since
Mhm.
last week.
Yeah,
So
E3 coming
E3
back.
is coming back as a live in-person event.
Mhm.
So I guess the first time since 2019, it'll be back in 2023, and entertainment organizer Reed Pop is going to be overseeing it this time. Is this good news? And do you think this was the right decision?
I I don't know because people were already pulling out. Companies were pulling out in
Yeah, they were.
2019. So I don't know what they're going to do with it. If it's not an industry event
Hmm.
anymore and they decide to make it for the general public, I think you're going to see a lot more companies come back who want to sell their product. If it's a
Okay.
professional, if it's a professional event, industry event, I don't know. I don't know how it would be this time.
Um, I guess my question is, did the kind of pandemic era turn video game publishers and developers away from E3? Would they rather just have their own social and streaming events to unveil things themselves rather than spending all that money to build the booths, set up the demos and things at E3?
Yeah, and that's another case. That's another good case as well.
But
Like I don't see.
Repop, they do have like this is their backyard, is it not?
Yes.
They did Celebration. They run New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
So they know how to run these big events, right?
Yeah.
So and they know how to book big clients.
Mhm.
So
And
maybe they'll
that what leads me to believe that this
okay.
is not going to be an industry event anymore. That they're going to open it up to a
Well,
wider
yeah,
group
yeah.
of people.
Good point.
Hmm.
But do you think Reed Pop will organize the event better than the ESA?
Yeah, because I mean the ESA, it was very professional, business oriented event, very industry event, and it worked great for what it is. But as attendance started dropping and companies started pulling out, I think Reed Pop coming in could give it a new life. And to be able to sell, make it like a Comic Con, make it like a something like that, where you actually sell a certain amount of tickets and be able to get normal people in, because those are the people who are going to buy the games. And we want to see the announcements and the debuts of new titles.
I'll be curious to see what they do with it, and I mean, they sent me the notifications, so we'll see if I'll be able to even get in, just because Repop handled Celebration. I registered for Celebration. I didn't get in.
Yeah.
D Jones Battle Droids. Roger. D Jones indeed. I was just looking at Slater the Spider. If Jeffrey or Mike confirms something, I'll believe it. Well, Slater, I'm usually not going to be the point of confirmation. My feeling is when the company announces it, then it's like official.
And I hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, that's.
And then I can't say anything. It's like there's things that I know right now in this brain that other people don't have a clue or are really taking it really far out, and I can't say a damn word about it yet. And it sucks. But I'm not gonna. But these people are friends, so I gotta. You gotta stay tight-lipped and keep that. The friendship means more to me than linking something. So.
Telsia Murphy, we are protecting the galaxy from the evil empire, and we will crush Tarkin's empire and save the universe. I don't know what D Jones is talking about.
Me neither.
Telsia Murphy, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Telsia Murphy.
I don't know. You could look for it. I am completely lost. But
Star Trek?
I don't know. Oh, talking about Star Trek. Did you see the last episode of Star Trek? Strange.
I did. I don't. It was sort of an update on the original series episode Balance of Terror. It was the first episode with the Romulans.
Yeah.
So I was like, some of this seems familiar. And I went back and watched the Balance of Terror episodes. Like, okay, I see what they're doing. So they sort of gave Pike. They sort of switched it around where it's Pike commanding the Enterprise during that same conflict versus the original series. It was that time frame, except it was Kirk in command of the Enterprise because how long ago did that episode air? Last week, right?
Last week.
All right. So that episode's out there. So yeah. It was good. I think the cliffhanger was good, and at least gives us we know season 2 is happening, so at least we'll get a season 2. I think the penultimate episode was really emotional.
Yeah.
The episode before with Hemmer. I was very sad about that.
Yeah.
I really liked Hemmer. I was sad to see him go. The finale was okay. It wasn't my favorite episode of the season.
Yeah.
It was fine though. I mean,
it was better than some of the stuff I've seen so far, like out in other shows and other.
I mean, the way they tried to kind of make it mirror Balance of Terror was interesting at times. So we got James Kirk, and that was, it was okay, but I'm more about the current Enterprise crew on this show, and Anson Mount as Pike is awesome. So I'm glad we're at least going to get a second season of this crew.
Yeah. Marvin, I think the series is better than the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Miss Marvel? Hey, well, I mean, I say more power to you, Marvin, if you're enjoying it. Angry Joshua Soar. If Captain Marvel is this episode, I will tell you where the bodies are. Okay.
Meaning the fact that everybody's thinking and everybody's feeling that Captain Marvel is going to be in this episode.
Well, yeah, and we've been talking about this during the watch party, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we've been of the belief that
Now, is it going to be in a post-credit scene, mid-credit scene, or is it going to be during the actual show?
I don't know, because they haven't done all those. They've been inconsistent with how they do those stinger scenes in these shows, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'll be a mid-credit thing kind of thing.
Yeah. But it's 11:30. We're 20 minutes away from the show start. Unless you're Marvin, then you're about maybe 40 about maybe 10 minutes away to 15 minutes away till you get the show. So I think I should describe how our watch parties work. What do you think?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So everybody, this is how the MUSE TV watch parties work. What we do is that at around 11:50, unless you're Marvin, then it's 11:48, 11:47, or 11:45. We turn down, we stop our cameras, put the audio to mute, and we watch the show together. Uh, as soon as the show's over, we come back and we discuss it. We just discuss the episode. We see what we like about it, what we didn't like about it. If and since this is a season finale, we'll discuss about it as the show as a whole and how we thought the show was as a whole. And then we'll do that for about 30 to 45 minutes after the show finishes. And that will be how we do our watch party. So if you're new to this, that's how we do them. If you've been here before, all I got to say is thank you for returning and being a part of this. Really appreciate it to see everybody returning every week. Jeffrey, continue.
So D. Jones says, voice, the galaxy of Star Wars is just getting more hotter than ever with the season premiere of the series Bad Batch. Telsia Murphy, we are going to save the universe and defeat the... I think D. Jones is writing his own fan fiction here.
Possibly.
I'm not. He's doing like Star Trek and Star Trek characters here. I'm not sure what's going on. D. Jones, if you ever want to fill us in, please feel free.
Yeah.
Juliet Giroux, I don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like something obscure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm expecting Carol Danvers. I'm expecting Brie Larson. I think that would, whatever they do tonight, I think having her meet Carol would just kind of bring everything home.
Yes, I agree. I really do agree.
Once along the way, I think we need to have her meet Carol.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a big long thing, but she needs to meet her, I think.
And be in costume. She has to wear the costume at least by the end of the episode.
Well, yeah, we know she's going to. But they have been holding it off.
Yes, we know. We saw it on the boat.
And
on the Disney Wish.
Yeah, but that wasn't from the series. That was like a promotional video.
Yeah.
Did you see the other thing about the video on the Disney cruise where they had like Paul Rudd talking about?
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it on here, but like the fan theory of Ant-Man, tiny
eyes and a poof. Gross. Yeah.
This is like that scene in Mallrats. Did you ever see Mallrats, Kevin Smith?
Yes.
Remember when what is the characters? Jason Lee's character is talking to Stan Lee, and he can't stop asking about Stan Lee about like sort of sexual organ related questions to superheroes, kind of thing. It's kind of like that. And like Stan Lee's like, I think you're like, he tells the friend, he's like, I think your friend's a bit too obsessed with superhero sexual organs.
Yeah.
Like Stan. So I guess the answer to like no, we're not doing the kind of we're not doing that with Thanos and Ant-Man, and the writers don't, or I guess back in the 60s they weren't really thinking about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Or if they were, they couldn't do anything because of the Comics Code Authority.
Exactly.
Which was kind of like, what was the Comics Code Authority? Like the censorship board and the ratings board for comics back in the day.
Keep everything all peachy keen and clean.
Voice, season 1 of the Bad Batch is now streaming on Disney Plus. Season 2 coming this yes, we know G Jones, and season 2 is coming this fall. We know
Yep.
that. I think I just mentioned that earlier.
But before we go into everything else, did you see Avengers Campus had a private opening at Disneyland Paris?
No, they don't invite me to these things, and they don't.
Neither do I. I would love to go to Paris to go check it out, but we don't get that privilege.
That sounds neat, though. I would love to go to Avengers Campus.
But they do have an audio animatronic Iron Man.
Whose voice is it?
It is in English. It sounds like Robert Downey Jr.'s.
So it's probably like one of the sound-alike actors who does the animation.
Yeah.
Because they got a guy like not Adrian Pasdar, but the guy who did the animation after Adrian Pasdar is basically doing an imitation of Robert Downey Jr. from the movies.
Yep.
Well, that's a great picture, though. Wow.
Yeah. And then it's called the roller coaster, because they used Rock and Roller Coaster and transformed it into Avengers First Flight, I believe it's called.
So is this supposed to be a drone or an AI? Because isn't Tony dead?
Yeah, but for some reason,
so what's the canon here?
The canon is kind of wonky in these Avengers campuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're supposed to be based in reality, but yet they're not.
Well, I thought they were supposed to kind of be up to date to the movies, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a bit. So is it just like the armor, or like what's going on here?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what the continuity is, because they said these were these were canon, and that each of these campuses are connected in some way.
Okay.
But I do
so
not.
Then why is Iron Man there, and why is he not dead?
I don't know. Do not have.
So is it like a separate? Is this a separate continuity now?
I guess it's too hard to tell or say, because they're supposed to open up an Avengers campus or a Tony Stark expo in Hong Kong next year, and then that would be the three places where they're having these Avengers campuses.
So what are your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder right now?
I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't the best. I liked Ragnarok better than this one.
Okay.
Some of the lines are kind of cheesy. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Story was okay. I was fine with the story, but I just didn't like. There's something that just wasn't feeling right, and I don't know what it was.
I think it has its flaws. I think getting Natalie Portman back as Jane and giving her a journey as Mighty Thor was cool. Enjoyed the chemistry with the actors. I think Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie is kind of underdeveloped, and they kind of start something with her character and then just kind of abandon it. It's funny and amusing and all that. I can see why I enjoyed the movie, but I can see why people are, struggling to find footing with it, I guess, so to speak.
I agree.
Even though it did fairly well opening weekend, but it's the lowest critic score for a movie on Rotten Tomatoes for Marvel since Eternals.
Damn.
It's looking a lot more like Thor: The Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Marvin, I can't wait for Andor. I can't wait for that one either.
Yep.
But yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder was kind of like, it was fine. I enjoyed it. There's certain things, like when he goes Jay, like Scooby Doo, that kind of threw me off.
Thor is like Thor is a lot goofier.
Yeah.
In ever since kind of like I guess kind of Ragnarok, they made Thor like a more humorous character kind of thing.
Yeah.
They kind of started that in Ragnarok. They went with more of that in Endgame. Kind of I guess after Infinity War, and now, and they did lean into that a lot with Love and Thunder, and I wonder if that is what people have a problem with, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Even though I enjoyed it. Oscar Proud, forget Sasquatch. I got Sugar Mama right here. Ha ha ha. It's talking about the Proud family. You like the Proud family, right, Mike?
Yeah, actually, I do. I'm friends
Okay.
with somebody on the Proud family, so
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I like it.
So we got about what is it? We got about 10 minutes to go.
8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes for Marvin.
Yeah. So Marvin always shows up for Marvin first.
Yep, exactly.
The Boys also finished up its third season.
Yep, they
I'll
did.
tell you, I was kind of disappointed with the finale of The Boys. Did you see
Yep.
it?
I haven't seen the finale
Oh, okay.
up
I won't
to
say too much
episode
then.
7, but I know what happens.
Oh, okay. I found it quite disappointing, and I just think they built up a lot of things that kind of went nowhere, and yeah, it was how I would describe the finale is anticlimactic kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I've always been a big fan of the writing on The Boys and how they're able to tell stories about each character and then bring it up and wrap it up in every end.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like they're kind of they're but I kind of feel like they're kind of repeating things now.
yeah,
I feel like we're kind of going through the same things over and over in season 2 and 3.
yeah,
Um
I can see that.
but I mean, the show is just so it's so dark and it's so
Yeah.
violent and edgy.
Mhm.
Like if you hate like superhero shows and movies, like The Boys, I think would be for you, because
Oh
the
yeah,
boys just the boys just kind of skewers like just kind of superhero
especially that
media.
episode 1 scene.
Oh yeah, where they go to the premiere, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
go to they go to the 7 movie premiere. And
Yeah.
then that director's like, release the Vought cut.
Uh-huh.
Or what was it?
I forgot what it
What
was.
cut was it? It was like one of the. It was they were making fun of the.
The
You know
Snyder
what?
Cut thing?
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
They were making fun of. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
the hashtag release the so and so cut kind of thing.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that wasn't what I was talking about. But
What were you? Oh, wait.
I was just like,
Party? The
yeah,
party
the
with
party.
termite with termite.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that ooh.
Yeah, that
I
was
can't even. Ooh.
that was shocking. And I was just like, dude, they went there.
Yeah, it's a shocking series, and
Yeah.
and Garth Ennis, the writer who created The Boys, uh, he does a lot of his stories have a lot of like edgy, shocking
Mhm.
content. So
Yeah, they do. They do. But
he created Garth Ennis, who created The Boys, created Preacher as well.
yeah. Oh boy. So we're now 7 minutes away. You're gonna have to check to see if it's on or not because my television's in the shop.
Okay,
So,
I will
but
put on Disney Plus now.
yeah, and also too, when's the next series? What's the next series after Miss Marvel? It's a
She-Hulk,
She-Hulk,
and She-Hulk, right?
and that's in 2 weeks. Does it start?
She-Hulk.
Or is it August?
I keep forget August 17th.
August.
So there'll be a bit of a, there'll be a bit of a nice cushion in between there.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see how She-Hulk does.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they kind of have some more exciting and interesting villains in She-Hulk. We know we'll get a little bit of Bruce Banner in that show at least.
Yeah.
So let's see. Where is Miss Marvel on Disney Plus? Here we goes, Marvel section. Here's Miss Marvel. Okay, so we are just a few minutes. Okay, so time and time again, episode 5. So we are just counting down the minutes until
Yep.
the season finale of Miss Marvel, episode 6, for the MUSE TV watch party. And we're going to take a brief break while we watch the episode, and then we'll be back for the post-episode discussion.
Exactly.
I think D. Jones is maybe just watching the Proud Family right now and just sharing his
Maybe.
viewing enjoyment with us.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
thank you for joining us nonetheless, D. Jones.
Well, this weekend I did cover the premiere of Zombies 3 for what's coming out to Disney Plus.
Uh, is that a Disney Channel show or is that?
It's gonna be it's gonna come out first on Disney Plus, and then they're gonna show it on Disney Channel.
Ah,
Yeah.
what did you
Interviewed
think?
all the cast. It was a nice, like, great, great cast. Really nice, talkative. Really, really had a good time at that. Got to meet Doctor Doogie Kamealua Loa. So I was happy about that because I really like her show. I really like that show for some. Because I guess maybe because it reminds me of a better version of the original Doogie Howser. At least,
Uh, is there something? Wasn't there like some sort of remake of Doogie Howser or something?
yeah, that's it.
Oh, and who was it?
Her name's Preston Elizabeth Lee. Is the one who is now the new kind of like Doogie Howser in the show.
Wait, so is the show is the show still on?
Yeah, it's on. They're working on season 2 right now. She was telling me that at the party.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, it's not Doogie Howser, it's
yeah,
Du
Doctor Doogie
Camille
Camille
Aloha.
Loa.
Okay, so she's Hawaiian Polynesian.
Yeah,
Is that
good
the name?
show. Really good show. I like the
Okay.
writing.
So what channel is this on? Oh, this is an ABC show.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Oh, it's a Disney Plus.
It's Disney Plus.
Mhm.
So, I didn't even know this show was on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
it is
Live
really
and
like
learn.
I really liked it. I thought it was a really well written show, but it didn't get a lot of
Are
press.
you
And it,
saying I should watch this show, Mike?
I would, to be honest, I would say yes.
Okay.
So
I'll give it a look maybe
mhm.
because I trust you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it. 11:46, 11:47 now. Marvin, do you have it on? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Did
Marvin.
have you do you have it on your
Now is
Disney Plus?
Marvin's time.
Exactly. Marvin's time is pretty close to when it's going to be coming on. So Marvin, do you have it? We just want to know. Comment. Yeah. Oh boy, Comic
What do you,
Con is a week away.
uh,
Still can't believe it.
I am like I hope I make it out.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure
I'm gonna
out.
need some Phil's barbecue to make it out.
Yep. And before we go into the Miss Marvel, we take our break. We're really trying to put together a show for you from Comic Con and live stream it. San Diego's Wi-Fi sometimes is hit or miss, so we're gonna see if we could do it or not. But stay tuned for next week, and we'll put something up where for Comic Con, but it'll be under our News by Muse
Hmm.
entertainment show. So it'll be Comic Con, a special News by Muse presentation.
So here's something cool
Mm-hmm.
for wrestling fans. So let's find the WWE. They did remember No Holds Barred?
Yep.
So they're doing No Holds Barred figures for Comic Con and Mattel Creations of Hulk Hogan as Rip and the late great Tiny Lister Jr. as Zeus. So I will share this
Debo?
tweet with you. What was that?
They
Yeah,
got
Debo
Debo?
from yes, they got Debo. The late great character actor who actually did appear in WWE and wrestled as Zeus
Mm-hmm.
after the movie came out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, had that SummerSlam match with
Strange times.
yeah, it was because it's a character in a movie, and then they brought him to WWE when it was like real
Yeah.
and had him feuding with Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his
Yep.
character from No Holds Barred. So yeah,
Exactly.
so you'll be starting July 22nd. You'll be able to get these Ultimate Edition figures of Tiny Lister as Zeus and Hulk Hogan as Rip from No Holds Barred as Comic Con exclusives. But you will be able to buy them on Mattel Creations if you're not going to Comic Con.
Exactly.
So, but remember to set your alarm clocks because chances are this will go quick.
Very.
Zeus is Zeus is like a very, I'm sure he's a highly requested type of figure from WWE. You know, considering this character's strange background between, you know, the movie A Famous Actor and then taking the actor and making him a wrestler on WWF television. So yeah, so this is okay. Here we go. So
on?
150. Well, no, it's about that time. It was just kind of getting to it. All right, it's on. So here we go.
Cool. Okay, everybody, here's the tag. We will be back after the episode. See you soon. Hey everyone, we are back. At least I am back. I'm waiting for Jeffrey to jump back on. Once Jeffrey jumps back on, we'll start the conversation. So I hope everybody has seen it yet. We'll be coming on board in just a bit. We're just waiting, like I said, for Jeffrey. Start asking your questions, putting your comments into the comments after we could go and run through them. Get ready for the conversation. It's gonna be a pretty interesting conversation tonight because since this was the season finale of the show, there's a lot to talk about on this one, and definitely we're going to talk about it not only as an episode, as its own episode, but also as this
spoilers.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert.
Back. And was this a stinger that kind of matched the movies?
What was that?
A stinger that matched the movies?
A little bit. It was okay.
And also the spoiler?
There's going to be so many clickbait articles tomorrow. I don't even want to.
You think? What gives you that idea, Jeffrey?
Well, the fact that they introduced mutants tonight, and Kamala is the first mutant of the first official mutant of the MCU, not counting, what is it, Professor Xavier in Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
She's the first, I guess, MCU universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe version of a mutant.
Yeah.
Which is odd. That was kind of an odd thing to throw in at the very end there. After all these episodes, and then to just throw in, oh, you're a mutant, by the way, which I don't get, because how does like the bangle connect to her being a mutant? Because like the mutant thing, it's genetic. It's the X Factor gene, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of seeded that in tonight. They didn't say X Factor kind of thing, but Bruno said it's a mutation, and then we heard like that little we heard the X-Men 90s animated series theme, clearly cluing us into the fact that Kamala's a mutant.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows,
in the comic books, she was considered a mutant?
No, she's Inhuman.
Inhuman.
So remember in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Inhumans and Terrigenesis? That's what Kamala is in the Marvel comics. That didn't happen to her here, but now they're saying she's a mutant, which doesn't make sense to me. And is, I know like they're getting to mutants and X-Men, but to just throw that in there at the end like that, and how they've set up her, not like that those couldn't be mutant powers, but like, because she has like this, because her family is part Jinn clandestine and all that, and then there's so she's like, her family are like interdimensional beings from her great grandmother's side, whatever. And then the Bangles definitely seem to kickstart, and that's not really how the mutant powers work. The X gene, it unlocks your powers in like puberty and in moments of intense like stress. Mental and physical stress, right? So that's what. So I don't know. I guess it's meant to be a coincidence or something. I don't. But yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he uses a mutation, but it's not really a mutation. It's more something else.
Mike, your thoughts on Kamala being the MCU's first official in dimension version of a mutant?
I'm fine with it. It's like it's not. I don't think it's a real. I don't think it's gonna stick. I think it's just the fact that it's just gonna be a mutation, and that they could go any way.
What do you mean it's not going to stick though?
Well, they could actually say like if they do bring in, because I have heard rumors of the Inhumans being brought back once time is.
But she's not inhuman, and to be an inhuman, you have to undergo teragenesis with the teragenesis, like crystals and gas and all that.
Yeah,
and they never did that with her.
Yeah, so they could always try and work some type of thing in there, because if it was in her genes, I mean, maybe sometime.
Here's my problem with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a satisfying climax.
Mm-hmm.
This is like what I would have done midway through the show.
Yeah.
A confrontation with damage control, or like episode 4.
Yeah.
Because beforehand they were building up Najma and the clandestine, then they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
So then they did damage control in the finale, and then they did all that Home Alone shtick with damage control.
Yeah.
And she was using her powers. They didn't even, like last week we talked about making Kamran the final villain. They didn't even commit to that. No. They hinted at it and teased it, but they didn't commit to it. But they got him to safety, I guess. I don't know. I was just kind of underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And they spent the whole episode running away from and fighting damage control. I didn't find that satisfying.
That's still my problem, is that there still isn't a villain. They have a villain problem, and they continue to have this villain problem. And I don't know what it is to change it, but they still have a problem.
The other thing is, we did get our mid-credits stinger scene, and we did get Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, but the two never met. The two never met face to face. It seemed like the Bangle artifact was going off, and they did a body switch wherever Carol was. So basically she, Carol, and Kamala, Miss Marvel, switched places. So now Carol is stuck in the family home of the Khan family, and presumably Kamala has gone to wherever Carol got zapped out of wherever from. And the Bangle did that. So
that seems a little odd to me.
I guess this will be how this will be the lead into the Marvels, I guess.
I guess so.
So it looked like Carol had a new costume, but yeah, go ahead.
That was a little confusing to me about the Bangle, because I think the Bangle has too much stuff to it.
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's a MacGuffin now. I don't know. I don't. But I guess it looks like they switched places wherever they were.
Yeah.
So Carol is now in Kamala's spot, and Kamala is now wherever Carol got yanked from. Why did the Bangle yank her? And like, what is the connection with Carol? Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
I guess we'll find out in the Marvels when that happens.
I guess so. The one thing I gotta say though that I do like, and they did stick it to it really good, is the story about the family and the story of
the scene with the father was good, and the father naming her.
The fact of representation in the last scene, like there is a sort of a message of representation and the importance of representation.
Okay,
especially within the communities.
Sure.
And it literally like shows it within that social media video and the social media post that they show at the end.
I thought that was kind of tacky.
To me, it just kind of I hit differently to me, because there's really.
Just because I don't like social media and all the TikTok stuff, and it all rings very phony to me.
Yeah, but it's all very.
But yeah, sure. I get what you're saying.
But you get what I'm saying, because that was something that there wasn't a lot of representation in phase 1, 2, and 3.
But I'm saying what felt more real to me was like the little heart to heart with her dad, and like like we tried so hard. we tried so hard for another child, and like that, that felt really genuine and sweet.
And then when
Yeah,
the
I like scenes like that.
yeah, and when the community supported her and gathered around her to find a way to escape. I mean,
But
there's still
damage control and that Deaver lady were not compelling villains.
oh no. I still don't get damage control.
Well,
Even
because
with
they were
Spider-Man, I
because
just don't
In Spider-Man, they were introduced as a cleanup and salvage crew, working with the government and Tony Stark, and then years later, that's still what they were doing. Now they're like what now? Now they're kind of like the MRD, the Mutant Response Division, but we don't. I guess they don't know about mutants yet, or they will soon coming
Mhm.
up because now Kamala's a mutant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't
Mike
know. That felt I don't know. I'm willing to wait to see how this plays out, but the mutant thing felt shoehorned in.
yeah. Dude, that
I'm
X-Men
confused.
theme was so sweet.
Yeah, well, glad you enjoyed it, Mike.
Yeah. I liked hearing the music because it kind of gives
Just a little bit.
it gives you a little bit of where Marvel's going to go with the X-Men type of thing, and that I have a feeling they are going to use the cartoon music in the movie.
I guess this means they, mutants haven't really been outed yet, or if they are known, it's on the fringes of science so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out more about that soon. But there, that was. I guess this was Kevin Feige's influence, and that was his big plan. I guess. So they did a switcheroo. Kamala has gone from being an Inhuman to now she is a mutant, which is two different like enhanced human types in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
And who is the new Black Widow? That's Yelena. Yelena is the new Black Widow. D. Jones.
Yeah. So that's the thing, like, and I think that's the thing with me is like this isn't a perfect show at all. And we mentioned on it on episode when we were talking about episode 5. But the one like I cannot stress it enough, they did stick the family story very well.
That was never the show's issue though. The show's issue though was conflict,
villains,
and creating like a satisfying challenge for Kamala, which they just didn't develop. They started it with Najma, and then they just didn't know what to do with that character, and then they just got rid of that character, and they didn't create a fulfilling like sort of blowout climax. And then you have this. Nothing about that. The fight with damage control was interesting to me. Yeah. Now, seeing Kamala like use her powers to protect the civilians and the bystanders and her family, like all that was neat, but like they didn't even want to make like Kamran was not a villain. Like because they were not building up Kamran as a villain, and he wasn't a real villain. He was just confused and distressed. He was being hunted. He was loyal to his mother, but it wasn't, he didn't even really commit to being a bad guy because his mother died.
Yeah.
And then Kamala reaches him at the end. So, and then they were just doing softballs and like, oh, we're going to run around the school and we're going to do the whale toothpaste and like all that was dumb.
Yeah.
Like if you had done that in the middle of the show, if there was like a thing in the middle of the show where Kamala gets trapped in the school and she's trying to get out and she's surrounded. This kind of reminded me of, this is like a midway episode of Daredevil where like Daredevil's like trapped in the building and he's surrounded by thugs and soldiers and he can't get out kind of thing. It's kind of like that. And this is a mid episode. It's a mid episode plot. Yeah. It's not a satisfying finale.
Yeah.
And like Deaver was not a satisfying final villain. Oh, she brought back that sonic weapon from Thunderbolt Ross used in Incredible Hulk. So we saw that again. Remember?
Yep. Except generations have come out of that thing and now it's smaller.
It looks similar though.
Yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same thing or similar.
Same concept.
Yeah, but smaller, shrunk down. But I agree with you like that. I mean, there's a lot of it wasn't a perfect show at all.
I give this episode like a 6 out of 10, basically.
Me, it was a 7 out of 10.
Sure, okay, that's fine.
Like, yeah, I would love to give it a higher score than that, but
Oh,
as
Zoe came back, and Zoe was friends with her now, and Zoe knew her. I guess Zoe knew her identity from the beginning.
mm-hmm.
So the mean girl turned out to be a nice girl. So I guess that's nice.
Yeah, but my thing is like I would, as a total show, as a show in general, with all the episodes, I would still have to stick with the 7 out of 10.
Okay, so that was
The
the
only
cliffhanger.
reason,
So we won't see.
reason is for the family part. I think if it wasn't a good connection in the family part, I think I would have scored it less because it needs to be a good villain,
right?
Something to test our soon to be hero to why she becomes who she is.
So I'm assuming this will lead into the Marvels, which comes out. So we won't be seeing what happens to Kamala for another year. Because the Marvels is coming out July 2023.
Yep.
So I wonder if Carol was like fighting in space with Sword or something. And hopefully we'll get more answers about Miss Marvel's mutant powers, mutancy. Is mutancy a word? We'll learn more about the mutancy coming up.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. This is a year between when we see what happens is going to be interesting.
And with streaming stuff, that's kind of how it has to be, even though we're going from a streaming show to a big screen feature.
But also, too, wasn't Miss Marvel supposed to be the first film of 2023? And then it was Quantumania, and then they switched it because of production issues?
I think the Marvels got delayed. I don't remember exactly what the order was, but I think that sounds correct. I think there was some changing around of things.
Yeah.
But, there's been a lot of that.
Yeah. And maybe that's the reason why they have it the way it is, because it wouldn't be that long of a wait to see Miss Marvel again and find out what happened with her.
And look, we are getting She-Hulk next month, so maybe She-Hulk will tie into some of this and what's going on with Shang-Chi and the rings. Maybe like the rings that Shang-Chi has, and maybe the bangle, maybe they're of a similar origin. Maybe there's a connection there and they'll tie together.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll learn more about that soon. And maybe there's a connection with Kang that we don't even know about.
Yeah, that's what it did. They swapped dates. It was supposed to be February 17th, 2023.
And I will be curious how they do finally work in mutants, X-Men, and all that other stuff. But
I really don't think that the mutants are going to come in until a lot later.
Well, we do know they are doing Deadpool 3 as well. Like we do know that's going to happen at some point, and they're working on that. And they're going to let him do Deadpool 3, hopefully.
Yeah.
Sean Levy's directing it, and I wonder when I guess when. How does Deadpool 3? How is that going to work? Where does that play into all of this?
Is it going to be a standalone and separate from whatever is going on in the MCU?
I think you could do that with Deadpool, just because Deadpool is so wacky. I think you could kind of make that work.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it was an okay show. It wasn't bad. I just don't. They need villains. Oh, and that was the one thing I was going to bring up with you. There was somebody who said when I was watching YouTube that they're curious to see if Kevin Feige really has a big how much of a control does he have on the shows right now, because he's separated so much into different hats and different.
He's the head of Marvel Studios, is he not?
Yeah, but how much say does he have right now, because he can't oversee everything?
Do you mean say, or how much is he really paying attention to them?
Well, that too.
I
Either
don't know.
way, however you want to look at it.
To me, there was not with this show, with Moon Knight, there was not with Hawkeye, there was not enough of a guiding hand.
Yeah.
And to really just kind of make them less clunk. There's a certain clunkiness to the recent miniseries that I found somewhat unappealing.
Because some people are even connecting it with Thor and with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, but to be fair, Marvel has had these problems before.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 was not very well received, even though it was successful. Thor: The Dark World, and that was that was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
We're in 2012 now. Thor: The Dark World was 2013.
Yep.
Almost 9 years. So I mean, you know, I feel like there's always going to be highs and lows, but I think has phase 4 been like a transitional phase a little bit?
Yeah.
But if they can nail Fantastic Four and X-Men and what's coming with those characters, it won't really matter, but they have to nail those characters.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if they, because from what we hear is that we're going to have a clear direction on what the next big bad's going to be, or what the next big thing.
I mean, I assume it's Kang, because like Kang is like a big deal.
Yeah.
Kang is like a galactic level universal threat. And if it's like the genuine article Kang, like I would assume Kang is like a Thanos level villain, basically. And he's like across time and space, so he's a huge threat. So I don't know.
That's why, like, when they say Galactus, I don't think Galactus is here yet. I don't think that's coming yet. I really do think it may be Kang.
They can use Galactus now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Kang, and Doctor Doom is going to be spread somewhere.
If we ever get a Silver Surfer movie one of these days, maybe we can finally get a Kang 2.
Yeah.
Excuse me, a Galactus 2. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see. So D. Jones, can't wait for She-Hulk to meet Jessica Jones. That's probably a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Who is going to be Iron Man? Tom Cruise or Ben Affleck? I don't think either of them. D. Jones.
Yeah. No, none of them.
Sladro, Galactus will be way down the line. Probably.
And I agree. Kang first, possibly Doom after. I want to see
in our 50s by the time we see Galactus. That'll be fun.
That's probably true. That is
provided the Earth is still here.
Yeah, but I agree with I agree with Sladro. I think Kang is going to be the main villain.
That's just me. That's not me, like, predicting anything. That's just me being pessimistic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a different story altogether.
Ghost Rider. I mean, look, Marvel's got the sandbox right now, and they've, I guess it just depends on what they're trying to do, what they want to do.
What would you rather see from
what?
When it comes with Ghost Rider, would you rather see a TV show or a movie?
It depends. If it's a PG-13 movie, I want nothing to do with it. I think like I want like Ghost Rider, and I want it to like look great, but you can't sanitize it and water it down, because you are dealing with demons and hell and whatnot, that kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Kang is really, Kang could like wipe out the planet, basically.
Yeah. Sladro about Ghost Rider, movie or TV series, he thinks movie. Just because they'd probably censor a lot in the show. That is true.
They'd probably censor a lot in the movie. I mean, look at Sony's Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Disney Plus. If it goes,
But
there.
I guess it just depends. Like, what does Kevin Feige want to do?
Mm-hmm.
What does Bob Chapek and Disney want out of Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Are they willing to do M-rated level shows for the Marvel Universe on Disney Plus? That kind of thing, like, Marvel After Dark, Marvel Nights kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I would do what I would do is I would do Marvel Nights and make that like your more adult level shows
Mm-hmm.
on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And just say like these are TVMA whatever. And look, Marvel Knights was kind of like the more adult line of Marvel Comics for a while. They used it for that.
Well, I was always shocked that they brought in the Netflix series into
Yeah,
Disney
but
Plus.
look, but they
The
did.
movie.
But they
Yeah,
did.
they did it.
So
So they opened up a door that they could do something like that.
but here's the problem. I don't want to see if you're going to do TV Ghost Rider, he has to look good.
Yeah.
Like you have to spend the money to make him look good.
Yeah. Sladro, I'm still a little shook on the X-Men 97
Yeah,
thing.
that was interesting.
Yeah, that is good. It is good because it's a nice little.
It's an homage.
Yeah.
It was just a little tiny bit, but we all knew what it was.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're not putting that aside or making a new version of it. They're using that exact same sound.
But they have not wanted to, like, they didn't even want to use the Spider-Man theme in the Spider-Man movie, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you want to know what else? Miss Marvel's like theme reminded me a lot of Spider-Man for some reason. From the MCU Spider-Man. It sounded similar to me.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to see more of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't think they're
I
going to
don't
bring
even know what's going. I don't even know if they're.
I don't even know what's going on with that.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. in general.
Yeah. Because the fact in comics, Miss Marvel is inhuman, and if I'm correct, but making her a mutant makes me more hype.
Right. So they made her a mutant, and she's not inhuman because she never underwent Terrigenesis. So they basically said she's a mutant now.
Yeah.
There's a mutation.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on with your genes. It's a mutation.
And that's the one thing. Like I've always the whole inhuman thing was never really of interest to me growing up. It was always the mutant. Like mutants were easier to understand. Children of the Atom were a lot easier to understand than Terrigen Mists or whatever in the world it was.
Well, because the mutant thing, it's basically like the idea that the mutants are like the next step in human evolution, kind of thing. Like like humanity is evolving, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to me, the grander scope is like the mutant. The reason mutants are happening in the MCU is just because of all this, of everything that's been happening on Earth. We have the Celestials and Eternals. We have Thanos. We have aliens invading. So people developing mutant genes is like a response to that, or it's like kickstarted. It's like a catalyst. It's like jumping into mutancy because of all this stress or all the extraterrestrial activity. It's like having an effect. It's like a response to humanity. Humanity is responding to all this outside stimuli.
Yeah.
It's a response mechanism, a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Didn't they make another Ghost Rider on one of the shows? Yeah, it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they brought in the
Robbie Reyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Latino Ghost
They were supposed to make they were making a Ghost Rider show, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then they canceled it.
They canceled it.
I guess when they did the switch over.
Yeah. She got the X gene.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you guys think of Thor?
I enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Mike didn't like it.
I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, it was a good film. It was different to me.
Oh wow, we're getting more people coming in here.
Antonio Rojas, what does the end mean?
Kamala is a mutant. Miss Marvel is a mutant. That's what it means.
And also it means that they switched places and Kamala's somewhere out in the universe. And
Captain Marvel is where Kamala was. They switched places, I guess.
Now, will the bracelets be what in Shang-Chi, what they were at that post-credit scene with Miss Marvel and
I feel like there will be some kind of connection.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll have a connection to Kang or something or other, and the time variant lines. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if Carol found the other bangle.
I forget. That's right. There was another bangle that they never
Yeah.
found, right?
Yeah.
There was another. Oh, so maybe that's. But did Carol have the bangle on her?
No, I don't know.
Maybe she was messing with it, and that's what caused all that.
Possible.
That's a good. But that's a good point, Slater. Thanks for that comment.
Yeah.
How did they switch places? So it looked like her bangle was emitting like energy or something, and then
It kind
suddenly
of looked like the energy of Miss Marvel's.
right. Suddenly, Kamala got like zapped, and then Carol Danvers took her place. I don't know exactly what I'm not clear on exactly what happened.
I need to see it again just to make sure, but it looked like they switched places because of the bangle.
Like an interstellar switch.
Now, here's the thing to me. Did it look more cinematically shot than what? Because it looked different. The way it was shot looked different than in the show.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, it looked the image looked a lot brighter.
Yeah, like, are we gonna see that? Is that one of those scenes that we'll see in the in the Marvels?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I hope like when we go watch the Marvels next year, I hope like they'll kind of are they going to start it where they leave off here, kind of thing, or are they going to show exactly how Carol got zapped into that house?
Yeah. Looking back on Shang-Chi, Mandarin had treasures beyond time, so I wouldn't doubt him find a whole bunch of cosmic artifacts.
Okay, so maybe. Well, remember the bangle was found in that 10 Rings temple. Remember in the flashback? Yeah. So there was a connection there.
Exactly. Antonio Rojas looks similar to the Space Stone's power as well.
The Tesseract, the cosmic cube thing. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it looked movie style. I agree. It looked like a movie, like it was shot for the big screen. What would you rate the show overall and compare to other shows too? I think that's a good way to end the show.
6 out of 10. I'll be nice.
Me on the show, it was 7 out of 10. And compared to the other Marvel shows, it was definitely better than Moon Knight. I was not a fan of Moon Knight.
6 out of 10 to me is like like solid, like borderline fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely better than Moon Knight.
And I give it a 6 out of 10 because the family stuff, the stuff with Iman Vellani as Kamala uplifted the show to me. Yeah. But the conflicts, the bad guys, the villains, damage control drew it back.
Yeah, I agree. But I know you have things to do tomorrow, so do I. So later on today.
Prepping for Comic-Con.
Yeah, prepping for Comic-Con because I got a lot.
Hey, D. Jones, I just want to say I think it's great you like Moonlight. There's nothing. If you loved Moon Knight, nothing wrong with that. Enjoy. I say more. Enjoy what you like. More power to you. I don't want to take away from your love of Moon Knight. So nothing wrong.
Let's take one more comment before we leave. Later, Moon Knight felt random to me, but probably because it was more of an origin story rather than something that's supposed to connect to the MCU, if that makes sense.
So is this.
Yeah. Shartimus Prime will be there.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So I think we can wrap it up tonight. Yep. But for all the new people who came in, thank you for coming in tonight and for joining us for the watch party and post-episode discussion. Really appreciate it. And, thank you to our regulars, but thank you to all the new people who came in as well. We appreciate it.
Exactly. And where could they find you, Jeffrey?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Wheeljack83. You can check out my review of Thor Love and Thunder if you want to check that out on 411mania.com. I'm also on Rotten Tomatoes. Jeffrey Harris, the J to the E to the double F3.
Yep. And I'm Mike Sandoval. You can find me here on MUSE TV. We will return when it comes to watch parties and after shows. We'll return for She-Hulk, which is in August, and then also we'll do Andor as well. We're going to go through that whole series, and we'll do an after show and watch party with that. Next week, we are in San Diego for Comic-Con. We will be doing some live streams and live shows from Comic-Con next week. So stay tuned to that. Keep a lookout on your YouTube. Don't forget, the best way to find out when we go live is to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified when we go live, especially when we go live at Comic-Con. So everybody, thank you so much. Take a look at the videos that we have here on MUSE TV. If you have a Roku or Amazon Fire TV, take a look at the Roku or Amazon Fire TV. We have the highest quality on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, and now we're putting 4K HDR videos onto YouTube. So please come along, be a part of this, and we'll see you next month for She-Hulk, and next week when we're at Comic-Con in San Diego. See you next time.